Here comes the eagle. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's meeting on Tuesday, August 9th, 2020. Tonight's meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Public Meetings Act, a copy of which is posted on the back wall. Councilman Sherman announced to me that he could not be here tonight due to business, so I would ask if there was a motion to use. So, motion by Radcliffe, second.
I'll second.
Second by Elwanger, roll call.
Elwanger? Yes. Solway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
That's cool.
Motion carries 4-0. Next item of business would be the approval of minutes for July 26, 2022. Any comments, questions, corrections? I saw one word and I was like, is that really a word? I saw two words.
I'm making up stuff now.
I guess I won't worry about it. Last, for Palmer presented on the request from me,
And
dam mobilization, dam hyphen mobilization. Should it be demobilization? Or what's dam mobilization?
I would probably do, yes, I would guess.
I'm playing the part of
I can't
both.
find it here. Where's it at?
Bottom of page 2. Last paragraph, page 2, right side, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yep.
5, 6 lines up.
Yep, demobilization,
Should be
Right here.
demobilization?
not dam mobilization. I get it. I found it.
Okay, your comment also.
That's
Yep, there it
good.
You got it?
Yep, that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Demobilization.
Okay, now.
Take the
Last mayor's name was misspelled in one place. Last name.
Who's? What?
There was one of them in the video that I didn't highlight, so maybe I'll just not worry about it. It was mine.
It's a Gelman.
And that was like R-A-E-L or R-Rail. It had something to do with
Rail instead of reel or something?
generators, I thought.
I thought we canceled this.
If I don't see it going, we'll not worry about it.
I can't catch it right away by skimming it.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the minutes with the one.
Amendment to the minutes.
Second.
Okay, motion by Radcliffe to approve the minutes as amended, and second by Olson. Roll call.
Second by who?
Olson.
Galloway?
Abstain.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwanger? Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Okay. Item number 3, comments by the public. If there's anybody who wishes to speak to anything that's not otherwise already on the agenda. Not seeing anything, we'll move to item number 4.
That's a
South Lawn, C31, 7945 payment agreement.
Get started tonight. This just has to do with the old Jesuit agreement. As you know, when we formed that organization, the way the agreement, the interlocal agreement, the contract was written, as soon as the project was over, that group would be dissolved, which we need to do anyway because we have to form a new one in order to be in line with what the state government wants to have sales, an additional second sales tax on your lot, which is also the next 2 items, so I don't want to get too far ahead, but essentially what this is, once we dissolved that agreement, that was where the payment split was in that agreement. It was written, that we would do the 80-20 split on the loan and interest payments. So now that that agreement is dissolved, to enter into a new one, just to keep it clean and not try to carry a bunch of Jesuit stuff into the new agreement, we did this separate agreement just for the Jesuit SRF. And then we'll talk about the creation of the Sydney Watershed Coalition after that, so that we don't have them mixed together, so it doesn't look like we're still trying to use that old group to meet our requirement. It'll be completely out of that. Originally, when we wrote the new agreement or started working on it, which is also, like I said, next couple agenda items, we had that split in there. And then the more we talked about it, the more we thought that might be better to just move that into its own separate agreement and not look like we're still trying to do Jesua business with the new agreement. So all this does is just continue our loan payments. They agree to pay their...
For approval of a payment agreement
Yep.
to continue what we've been doing.
To continue the 80-20 split on those loan payments and interest and principal as we've been
So
doing.
this covers the end of Jesua until we do something then.
Correct.
Any questions for Neighbor staff? Basically just continuing payments in the same structure as we did under the Jesua agreement, which technically has ended.
So it's an open-ended agreement on that until we terminate.
Well, until the loan is paid off or until, you pay it off or its last payment's
Basically,
made.
we're asking for approval to honor the existing terms.
Yep.
So would I have a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Motion by Olson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ellinger, roll call.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Ellinger? Yes. Callaway?
Yes. Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. All right, so that's going to move us to the next part that we was talking about.
Yep. This is the resolution, and then there's also the interlocal agreement, so there's two things we need to do to create this organization. The first thing we need to do is a resolution by the city mayor and city council allowing me to enter into an interlocal agreement, which is the second item on here. And notice the resolution does say that. It says allowing the city manager to enter into or is designated to enter into a local agreement, interlocal agreement with the SPNRD. And then the long document is the agreement that just kind of creates the new Sydney Watershed Coalition and kind of goes over what we're going to do, how we're going to create our budget. It's very similar to the way the Jesua one was designed, only without as much specific detail on the project because we just haven't gotten that far down the road. We were way further down the road on project details when we created Jesua, and we're not at this time, so.
So how do you incorporate those details in that?
It'll be a work plan. We have to have a work plan we'll have to have our bylaws within 30 days. And then we have to have a work plan I can't remember how often it is that we have to submit our work plan, and then we also have to have a budget as well. So all the requirements to get this moving are all in here, the things that we have to do, benchmarks we have to meet that would meet, everything in here will meet at the very least, if not more, meet the sales tax requirements, so.
The basic structure of the SWC is basically the same as the previous.
It's a separate entity, and it was on their meeting today too at 5:30, but I mean, we started this before they probably finished theirs, so I'm sure they probably agreed with it too. And then that's why the signature page is just us, and it's Exhibit B, just in case you were curious why there was no Exhibit A. Exhibit A is the NRD agreeing as well, and Exhibit B is us. So that way we don't have to run back and forth with contracts and getting all these signatures. We just have Exhibit A that they sign and Exhibit B that we sign.
And representation is the same as it was under the Jesua board. They have
It is.
two members, we have
They
two
do,
members,
yep.
and any vote requires unanimous decision.
That's exactly right, yep. So that part did not change, We did change some things to clean it up a little bit from the way it was before, but
Any questions on that before we take action? Basically, we're creating a new group, new agreement, which would be required if the city renews the half-cent sales tax, using this as the interlocal agreement.
correct.
We can actually do both of these together if no one objects to either part. So we could have a motion for resolution 2022-0801 and the inclusion of the interlocal agreement creating a new city watershed coalition.
So moved.
Motion by Radcliffe, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ellinger, roll call.
Olson?
Yes.
Ellinger? Yes. Callaway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. Item number 6, consideration of resolution 2022-0802, our public house parade.
Follows on its way.
Illinois Street and any other street they want to use.
Hi guys, Christine Radke with the Sydney Oktoberfest Parade, just coming here to ask if we could use Highway 30 for the parade. this year.
And this is a requirement that we send into the Department of Roads, we do this on an annual basis.
Correct, yep.
Any questions for Christine or the Oktoberfest committee? If not, is there a resolution?
I have a
Question, yes.
How about a comment that said, wouldn't it be cool if those new light poles, this isn't for you, but those new light poles were up by then, just to...
We're still waiting. I hope, that'd be nice if they came in. I'd like to pay for them this fiscal year, but
We can't get in yet?
yeah, we're still waiting. No, we're not in yet. I know we haven't budgeted in both years because we don't know if it's gonna cross into October or not, but I'm hoping for them sooner.
How many light poles?
There's a bunch we ordered. Well, I don't remember, that's a previous agenda. I don't want to speak to the exact number, but
That
yeah.
at the end, 'cause I actually wanted to ask about that at the end, too.
Okay. For that.
Question before us now is to approve the resolution.
Make a motion that we approve. Second.
Motion by Coulson, second by Radcliffe. Roll call.
Elwanger? Yes. Soloway?
Okay.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
We look forward to it. As many floats, people, and marching bands as we can get.
And we'll be there at noon.
That's the goal. That's the goal. Item number 7, consideration of resolution 20220803, municipal annual certification of program compliance. Other state requirements.
Good evening, council and public. This is an annual certification that we got to require by the state to have a hearing on and then in a resolution form. What it states is that we do all the stuff required by the state with our finances, road projects, how we do it with our forms, our inventory, our equipment costs, stuff like that, that we do the compliance with it, and we do that. We also have our budget audited every year and everything. It also says like we do the 1 in 6 plan hearing and stuff. That's what all this is about, that we do all that stuff. It's a formality, annual, every year we have to do it. Excuse me, in resolution form.
Correct.
So, any questions?
Any questions for Hank? Street related? All right, if not, is there a motion to pass resolution 20220803?
So moved.
Motion by Elwanger,
Second.
second by Radcliffe. Roll call.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwanger? Yes.
Motion carries 4-0 against. Councilman Bill, public comment.
Thank you.
Okay. Item number 8, consideration letter of support for the Nebraska Economic Development Certified Community Program, something we're a part of.
Perfect. Yes, this is basically just asking the council to allow the mayor to sign a letter of support. The City of Sidney and Cheyenne County Economic Development Partnership support the Nebraska Economic Development Certified Community Program. The City of Sidney's original certification was in 2007, and the recertifications are every 5 years. So we did it again in 2012, and well, we've been doing it 3 times since then, because now we're back to 2022. 2012, 2017, and 2022, so for the past 15 years. Sidney utilizes the significance of this program to set itself apart from competing communities and new companies. The city wants to show clear support for excellence in economic development and its partnership with the State of Nebraska Economic Development Department. You'd think most cities are in it, but not all really. It definitely is a bonus to us. So we've done this every 5 years, and I'm just asking, this is the first step. It's a gigantic booklet, about a 20, 30-page booklet that I have to go through and fill out and put together. But the first step, page 1, is asking the mayor to sign a letter of support to continue to partner with the state.
I'm just curious, if you're not certified, what's the drawback there?
I think it probably closes the door to some granting opportunities for businesses coming into town through the state. It would not hurt us from offering people our LB 840 money, but it might hinder some programs through the state for them.
And as far as the letter itself, reading through that, there's 2 little minor things I would like to change in the letter.
Okay.
One is just a part of support for a reason. But I can do that now or later, I guess. Let's see, the second to last paragraph. The letter itself says, as our community continues to experience a state of uncertainty,
Oh,
I would just strike that. Just begin with
the
that.
the economic development efforts continue to push forward. Yep, that sounds good.
I don't think that holds true today.
I think I might have not taken that out from last time. Whoops.
It's basically a copy of the letter.
It is, it is.
When,
Joe signed it.
Mayor Arterburn.
Yeah.
The other part was the last paragraph, first sentence, change the word "and" to "to."
The city will
Take
continue
on challenges,
to take on
or just
challenges.
strike and overcome obstacles, I guess. Just take
Yeah,
on
because
challenges.
you have to leave "and" if you leave that, so
Just strike and overcome obstacles.
just continue to overcome challenges. Okay.
Minor changes, doesn't change the content, but
Nope, it doesn't.
a better reflection of the times.
Yeah, it doesn't, it does not.
I'm not going to paint
So-
a negative picture when things are.
Right,
better than
right.
they were.
Yep. So I'll just wait, I'll just call you to sign that. As long as they agree to it, I can work with you whenever.
And that's- I just wanted, in transparency and fairness to
Yep.
Cass, I wanted to point out those changes.
It's not due till January, which quite frankly is pretty tight. Last 5 years ago, we started on it. 7, 8 months ahead of time. I've got it.
Minor changes.
a
but,
shorter window.
But I think a better reflection of the
Yep,
times.
we got plenty of time to do that.
Any other questions about, like you said, Bob, you asked a question, is there any other questions about this program? Basically, it's just a letter of support, something that we've belonged to for quite some time.
Yeah,
And it does make things easier to jump through some hoops.
it does.
So grants and other programs and things, so. It gives us a little advantage to show that we are an economic development certified community. We're in competition for other things or businesses.
Anytime you can have that little extra designation.
It doesn't hurt. Is there a motion to approve letter of support for the Nebraska Economic Development Certified Community Program?
So moved.
Motion by Olson, is there a second?
Second?
Second by Radcliffe. Roll call.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
Elwinger, yes, Galloway,
Yes, motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against, and yeah, just get me that.
I will. Yep, I'll text you. Perfect.
Thank you. Item number 9, claims for July 2022, they were done
Actually, I
by...
meant to start that one and I forgot.
If our union had no issues,
I like the little note in there, so we know.
Who it was?
We know.
I know, I want you to know.
Who's next?
Who gets the September one? That's the rough one.
I do.
Oh,
You guys, I already sent them out today, but more of it's up.
Okay. All right, any questions for Bert or staff on claims? If not, we'll motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Motion by Elwinger, is there a second? Second by Olson, roll call.
Olson,
Yes.
Elwinger,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
yes.
Motion carries 4 in favor, 0 against. Item number 10, city manager's report.
I don't have a whole lot, but I do want to point out there's a couple new faces in the room tonight. So first of all, as you know, Rob has stepped down as the water superintendent. We conducted some internal interviews and made an offer, and Joe Talich has accepted the position. So if you want to, so he'll be here for you to beat up on from now on.
Anything you wish to say,
Yes.
council, in a lengthy discussion?
Nope, I just look forward to the challenge of holding the position.
All right, well, we appreciate it, and welcome to the new position.
They'll find a new nickname now.
Yeah, we need a new nickname now, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
wear a blow tie or something, that'd be helpful. We'll work on it, we'll work on it.
And also, the volunteer fire department had held their annual vote for their leadership roles, and we have Matt Butts in the room tonight, who was voted by the volunteer fire department as their new fire chief, and I sent a letter of support for that, so.
Okay,
Congratulations.
and how long have you been on the fire department now?
17 and a half years.
Yeah, exactly, so, appreciate your dedication to service to that.
Thank you.
And they have a event coming up here, by the way, I think in the next few weeks, right? At Dude's?
Oh, yeah, our annual banquet.
Yes, and go
Yep,
banquet,
coming up
so.
in September.
September, I'm sorry, okay. I knew, so it's a little ways out.
What is that, David? The event?
It's your annual awards banquet, isn't it? Okay. I replied back to that. I don't know if any of you got back to that. Anyway, it's a good event. And then I also want to point out that this Friday, the 12th, is the Night of Hope. So that will be going on in Legion Park, just so if anybody wants to go down there and support that. Everybody was really good turnout for the new Legion Park playground grand opening. It's fantastic. It looks amazing. The night before, we had a ton of people there, and then the next morning, there was a lot of people there as well for the opening. And Brooke was there. It was like there was a ton of kids there. Right away at 8 o'clock, it was standing room only. So very well received. It looks great. I'm super happy about it, and go check it out if you haven't. And then just one last reminder that the budget workshop will be August 25th at noon here at City Hall. And I think that's all I had tonight.
Okay.
I can't think of anything else.
All righty then. Chief, anything?
Last Tuesday night, we were supposed to hold our National Night Out annual event, got canceled due to lightning. So we moved it Sunday. Had around 170 people participate. It's a pretty good event. We'll could try to do it next year. August 1st, we put John Hapley on board as a new officer. He's just now completing his 80-hour in-service training. We'll get him out in the car, and he's supposed to be off to the academy at the end of this month. On Friday, Colton McKenzie graduates from the 211th basic training. So he'll be back in Sydney after that. I'll get him down here. I think you guys have met him once, but you'll meet him as an officer now. And this morning was Sierra Nichols' first day as code enforcement officer.
Oh, I should have had her come
She
tonight.
had a pretty busy day today, so we're just getting her started, trained up and stuff, so we'll be getting her out in the public more too. That's it.
Okay. Appreciate it. Marshall, anything? You have the order?
Nothing out of the norm, sir, thank you.
Hank, anything else, street department?
No, no. I had a compliment for us, though. We were putting up some barricades for the annual road for the cross-country, and there's a vehicle there on the side from Idaho, and they were on their way to a reunion. And she asked me how many people we had, and said, yes, it's 6,000. And they were said, well, you know what? Got a beautiful park. And said, you guys have a lot of stuff, and a lot of nice things for 6,000 people. So we made a good impression on someone.
Yeah.
That's good.
They were eating, that offered us to eat.
Yeah, I would echo that. I've had strangers come through town.
Me too.
Just comment on just what a nice, clean, well-kept town it is, so it's always good to hear things like that. Lane, anything for the good of the order?
I will get in touch with you all next week. I have your budget book, should be ready to go by the end of the week, so.
Okay.
Wonderful budget binders.
Come pick up a binder.
Some easy reading.
I'll even deliver them to you if you want me to. So.
I'm gonna say,
The previous finance director used to deliver.
yeah.
Used to hand deliver them? I'll hand deliver them with,
They've been hand delivered for a long time.
or something, so. I'll get in touch with you all.
We used to do it years ago. Police department.
Maybe I'll even get a police escort.
Well, if Brad is here, we could say he's going to send him FedEx.
There you go.
Ouch.
Police escort's always good, because they wonder what are they doing in the neighborhood?
Yeah.
What did he do now? That's always fun.
Answer to the neighbors.
Just evaluations coming up.
Yep, okay.
I'd like to add that the gazebo is up on Solano. They got it put up, and we're just waiting to put up the sign.
Looks nice. You have to drive by there and see it.
I will. Where did it get placed?
Where was that?
Where on the lot?
So you see it, you see the face of it driving by, back on the,
It's close to the trees.
Yep.
It's back to the
Okay.
trees.
it's a really good view of it when you drive by.
Take up and everything, but- Okay,
It looks like it fits really perfect there, actually.
well, outstanding, and I'm glad that was a project that everybody was able to see through.
Means a lot to me.
All of us. So be sure to take a look at that, a nice new addition to one of our smaller park areas. I think I've hit everybody here. Marva, anything?
Not this time.
Martha, I forgot to mention the visioning thing. Do you want to mention that?
We did do the visioning.
Yeah, a little update on the visiting meeting.
It was a
hotel.
packed house. It was all real
Over 100 people.
positive. I think that people had some really good ideas.
They did.
And it was pretty fun to sit through. They kind of kept us going and kept us focused, and there was a lot of good ideas that came from that.
She was absolutely, Joan Johnson was absolutely right when she said, don't worry about it.
Yep.
We know how to do these, and they did, they ran it like it was perfect. And it was very positive
Yeah.
from the beginning, early and often, people were reminded this is a positive event, and it definitely stayed that way. And
You mentioned Janet Jensen, so this was an event that was sponsored by
the Nebraska Community Foundation.
Local
Right.
committee.
Whenever they do donor advised funds for specific communities, they like to get the whole community in to find out so that they're not deciding what they're spending the money on. They want to know what everybody wants, and that's why they made it this big pie in the sky thing to make sure they would get.
Since we have a local donor fund, they have a meeting here.
Yep.
Wendell Gaston, former Gaston,
Yep, he was there, yep.
Yep.
It was a great event, though. People really had, people have some great ideas for the community, so. It's a demerit.
Phone went crazy.
He's not drawing his gun and running out in haste.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, right?
That's a good thing.
Sorry, Marv,
Oh, that's okay. No, that was a good
I
reminder.
forgot to mention it, so.
But, yeah, nice event coordinated by the Nebraska Community Foundation Local Donor Fund. Bob?
I have nothing.
Good? Okay. I guess several things I was going to go through. We have back to school coming up here this next week with students. So please be aware of students on the streets, sidewalks, going to and from schools, and changing traffic patterns, especially since we still have trailers and campers out on the streets. Sometimes it's hard to see kids entering the streets. Just a little extra attention there. Want to give a huge thank you and express appreciation to the park project people. Enormous project put together, the result of which is a first-rate park.
Very nice.
Something the community can be proud of for a long time, so can't express enough gratitude to those people for taking on that task of that scope and size and seeing it through, so big thank you to them. Light poles, yeah, I was going to ask about that as well.
Yep, so I don't have the exact numbers. I know that we have enough to do the, however many it is from Illinois to Hickory, and the ones that we ordered, which would be nice if we could do them all at once, you know. I can't remember the exact number. It was 20-something, I want to say. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers on me.
About the historic downtown.
Yeah, the ones that you can put the banners on. Yep, those are the ones we ordered, to get rid of the ones we have now that are a little bit shorter and you can't put a banner on.
Everything would be consistent.
Yep, everything would match, everything would look a lot better. They did, and I don't know if Mike's heard anything recently, but when we first ordered them, they weren't specific. Just like everybody else, it's hard to nail them down on a delivery date. And so when I worked with on Lane with the budget, we did include it in both, just in case it crosses over into October. I'm hoping it comes sooner than that, but, I mean, it's hard anymore to get people to commit.
I think it was last winter, you talked about using potential budget funds at the end of the year, getting around March, April, seeing what we had left, and maybe putting money towards that.
Yep, and that's why we did it, and we hoped we still would be able to. Of course, now, I mean, if they push it out, I mean, we still will carry that. If we don't spend it in September, we'll carry that money over October and spend it then. But we did include it in the budget, just so it doesn't look like we're spending money that's not budgeted, if they shouldn't come into October, but I'm really hoping they come in sooner than that. I think it'll look really nice.
I think it would look outstanding.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, too.
It would help give an identity.
Yeah,
to the entire-
it'll tie everything together a little bit better, rather than having one type of pole in one place, another type in another place, yeah.
They're working, even better.
Yeah, how about that, right? Yeah.
They plan on putting them all in the same spots there now, I mean, just placing.
Yeah, wherever the old one was is where we'll, rather than trying to move the wiring and all that.
And again, yeah, I'd love to see the goal of extending that,
Even further,
several
yeah.
years.
I would too.
throughout the entire district.
I would too.
South, east, west.
And you have banners for these?
Yeah, it'll be just like the ones that are on 10th Street that have the little historical district banners. We'll have to start ordering more banners, I suppose, because, you know.
And I was approached by, I guess, several citizens, several different groups about the potential.
I was
of
too, yep.
Doing some type of banner program.
Like Oktoberfest banners or
Yeah,
whatever, you know.
Or
Yeah.
maybe an awareness of certain events.
Right.
Or graduating seniors, or I mean, any number. of
Yeah,
things.
I had a lot of those people ask
I
me
do
about
know
that
some
too.
communities do banner programs where you can, for a fee, display different things.
They'll have to pay for the banners and then whatever. Yeah. We'll, as soon as we get them, I think we probably, once they're on Illinois, we'll have to come up with a program for that.
Banner program.
Yeah, we'll have to, because that, I mean, it doesn't do a lot of good for people now when they're just over there on 10th, but once we have Illinois, you're right, we'll have a lot of interest.
Exposure.
Yep, we'll have a lot of interest.
So that's something we can work to develop.
Yeah.
Other than that, the last item, I guess I was going to ask is a personal favor. I recently got asked to fill a coaching vacancy on the football team at the high school where I teach and coach. Just shortage of coaches, this and that, which not a problem other than with our recent time change going to the 6:15 start time of meetings. Puts me in a conflict of how early they get done. Tuesdays is their heaviest practice day, and they do not get done by 6:15. So I would ask if we could change the time, at least temporarily during football season, to 7:15, and we can specify out a time period for that. And I know we did the time change last time as an ordinance. You're going to want to do an ordinance again.
Yeah, we'll have to do an ordinance, and that's not an issue at all, but if we're going to make it, from
should be
whatever date to
end time.
whatever date, I need to know what those dates
Right.
are so I can plug them in.
Exactly.
Or if the council wants to go back to the 7:15, or however they would like to do it.
Do you know an end date, what that might be? Or?
Depends how long your season goes. But realistically, through October, maybe into November a little bit, I could give you hard dates.
My opinion is that we come up with a new time and we leave at that time all during the year, and that, so we don't confuse the citizens.
And I was going to ask that too. I thought you might have an opinion on that.
Yeah.
Saying leave it at 7:15.
Sorry, Bert.
I kind of like the 6:15.
And there's going to be pros and cons of both sides, which we can debate. So either we have an ordinance that makes a temporary change that flips back automatically, or we have one that changes to 7:15, and then if we decide to go back to 6:15, we consider a new ordinance.
So, that hasn't been, I don't know what time you usually get done either. I mean, I know that your staff, it's a long day for them. So if there's an earlier time, you wouldn't necessarily have to do the 7:15. You could do a 7 or a 6:45, whatever works for you.
Right.
But just give me some ideas so that I can plug them in and have them available for us to put it on the agenda.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? If it changes from 6:15 to 7:15 and you would have an end date, like say it would end in October, then would we have to have a new ordinance?
No.
No, we would write it that way.
It would be written into the ordinance.
Revert back to ordinance number, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But what I'm hearing Bob say is he would like to see it just one time, period. So we wouldn't revert back.
So because we have one councilman gone and one in favor of a change in time, let's do this. Let's put it on the agenda as a change in time, and then if at such time council decides they do want to revert it back, we can change the ordinance to that.
Right. And I can
That's fairness to all parties.
leave it blank. I can leave it blank and we can fill it in as we go. I just need to have some sort of...
We can have options on it.
Right. I just need to have some sort of idea if I'm going to have an option to put in front of you that has, where it flips from 7:15 to 6:15. I need to know what those hard dates are.
Right.
And have that ready, and then I'll have also a resolution that has it as one time, and I'll leave that open so that you guys can
Perfect.
discuss that time, and we'll just fill it
So
in.
council can pick one, and
So you think middle October might be the one?
or they can say no to either and keep it as is.
Correct. But that way I can have a couple of things for you to have, and you guys can get it passed next time.
I think that sounds fair to everybody. Because I said, could decide to do nothing,
Right.
as is.
But if you would give me, I mean, take a look at your
Yeah, I
calendar
will.
and see how it goes, and
We
then
can draw
give me an
up
idea.
Okay,
Mhm.
that sounds like a good way to proceed.
And then also, I suppose, if you're wanting to, if you did it for a specific amount of time, I assume you would want to waive the 3 readings, because if you didn't, by the time it would be over, you'd be a moot point, so.
So that's
Sounds
something.
like better than we do 3 readings.
I mean, it would be done by then, you know?
Yeah, hey, I said council can do what they want. I'll either be here or I won't. That's totally up to council, so. Just something I wanted to mention, and it's something extra that I took on, so apologies for any inconvenience in bringing it up. But I thought I would at least ask for consideration on that. So I'll get you some dates, we can drop both options, move forward from there.
Okay.
Okay? Anything else? All in, all done, we adjourn at 6:51.